thieving bitch, that's mine!
Stuffed anyhow.
You give us that back before I smash your teeth in.
Oh, drop it.
Oh, you did that on purpose!
No, that's enough, Mitchell. You're on a charge. Now come with me.
But you don't understand.
I understand very well. There's no excuse for physical attack, Brian.
I've been trying to work out who turned the lights out in the library. Now, Mr. Manning's got an alibi, but the only other officer that's got it in for me is you.
And why would I do a thing like that, Stevens?
Because you're worried the department won't swallow the new image of yours. With me dead, there's nobody else in the position that could tarnish it.
You do have a vivid imagination, Stevens. You're no threat to me.
But can you take that chance?
Look, it won't be long before you realise you're quite wrong. Now, if there's anything you want, providing it's legal, I'll be very happy to oblige. Anything else, you're on your own.
The penalty may seem harsh to you, but I've had no time for anyone to put their boot in when someone's down.
That's life. I didn't invent it. Now, why don't you shove off? What's up, Pops? Pull a muscle playing He-Man. Good game, eh, Pops? Race you for him.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that, Miss Ferguson, Bobby. She sure seems different. She's just banging it on Cascraft, bitch. Oh, I don't know. She might have woke up to herself. Nah, she's like a cheap pair of knickers and she'll drop on you when you least expect it. Hey, you rotten mongrel! Quick! Don't you! Oh! Cass, quick! Here you go, here you go. Hang on, Mr. Dobson. Hang on, here's your pill. That's all right. Good, come on, Cass, help me get him into a cell. Come on. Oh, come on, Stan. That's the way. Yeah, you'll be all right now. We got you.
Thank you, girls.
Here you go. Come on, Cass, help me get him on the bed. Oh, yeah. Come on, Mr. Dobson.
There's really no need for this.
Now, come on, you put your feet up and you take it easy. Yeah, Stan, try and relax. There you go. Oh, jeez, I wish I hadn't hit young Reb so hard. I probably landed myself in more strife. Oh, yeah, you better go and throw her in a dorm somewhere out the way. Yeah.
The Minister told Parliament he'd make urgent inquiries into the allegations.
Hey, Judy. Got a letter from Adelaide today. Sheila's getting married.
Oh, that's nice news. Do you know the bloke?
Well, I haven't met him, but I've heard he's a good lad.
Oh, did you get an invitation to the wedding?
Oh, yes. Looks like I'm going to have to do a pixie if I'm going to get there.
Yeah, sweet Pixie. Guess she's home free now, huh?
Mr. Jerry McAllister, SM, had the last word. He gave her 24 hours to pay and warned that she'd be arrested if she failed to comply with his order.
Bloody Camilla Wells, she's got herself in big trouble this time.
Oh, bucket mouth, eh?
Bucket mouth? Where'd that come from?
That's what young Bobby calls her. Listens to a show nearly every morning. It'd be worthwhile if we kept an ear out for it tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll bet she has plenty to say, too.
Always does.
Felt it should be destroyed. And now to sport. In the 220 at Flemington today,
I was watching that.
I've got to talk to you.
Why?
Maybe it's time for a change. Let bygones be bygones. Start again.
No, thank you.
But it's safer if we stick together, and you know as well as I do that Ferguson's putting on an act. And she's planning to get rid of me.
Scared, huh?
I'm not afraid of anyone.
Well, then you don't need us, do you? Now, maybe the freak is faking, maybe not. We're just going to have to sit back and wait until we find
But
out.
that'll be too late for me.
Oh, but not for us.
How is he?
Much better.
Oh. Hey, you stay there, Mr. D. You still look pretty cook.
Yeah, we're going to have to tell somebody. He ought to see a doc.
No, please, Sparky, you promised.
Yeah, but we can't have you... You know.
I won't. I've had the tablet. I'll be all right. I'm very grateful to you both.
Please, it's nothing. Yeah, it's okay, Mr. Dobson, long as you're all right.
I am, really. Where's Keane?
Oh, she's still out to it in her cell.
I hope she's not too badly hurt.
Yeah, well, it'd serve the mole right if she is. Yeah, well, I didn't mean to hit her that hard. I sort of lost my temper.
Don't worry, you did the right thing.
You'd better go and bring her around, I suppose. Yeah. I'll get you a drink of water. There you go. Oi, come on, Reb. Wake up. Reb, come on, wake up. Reb, come on. Wakey, wakey. Come on. Come on, Reb, wake up, please. Come on, Reb, wake up.
Parker? What's going on here?
Well, I hurt her, Mr. Manning. I think I hurt her real bad. Oh, jeez, don't die, Reb. Please don't die.
Oh, Maureen Maguire, that new woman wants to see you.
Oh, tell her she'll have to wait until tomorrow.
Oh, is something wrong?
Just the continuing saga. Now Patrick is talking about moving away. It looks like he might get that job in Albury, and God knows we could do with the money.
Oh, will he come down for weekends or what?
Oh, nothing has been decided yet. Oh, he doesn't want to go either. And the kids don't want to have to change school and make new friends.
What do you want?
Of course I don't want to go. But the only way we can keep the house here is if I keep the job as governor.
I think you're fairly safe. Anne says she's not coming back.
Yes, I know that. But I would be happier if she made the resignation official. Besides, we don't really know what plans the new department head has.
Well, we can make an educated guess. The appointment's been made. It's Erica Davidson.
Really, Erica? That's a step in the right direction. At least she understands the problems we face here.
Yeah, I hope so.
What does that mean?
Oh, nothing. It's just that she's got this fixation that she's the only person that really understands Wentworth.
I doubt if anybody does. Yeah. All right. What's happened, Mr. Manning?
Parker's assaulted Keane, Governor. She admits doing it, and it's quite serious.
Is Keane badly hurt?
She's with Sister Kelly. She'll recover.
What have you got to say for yourself, Parker?
I didn't mean to hit her that hard.
Then why did you attack her? Come on, you must have had a reason why. Oh, well, you leave me no choice. Take her to solitary.
There's nothing else you could do. We can't chance any of the other women getting hurt if she goes off again.
If only she could control that violent temper. I don't know. I think we're going to have to find an alternative for Parker.
You sure you'll be all right, Mr. D?
You can count on it. I want to thank you again for your help.
Steve, I didn't do much.
Saving my life may not be much to you, but means a lot to me. Now, we'll keep all this to ourselves, won't we?
What's happening?
What do you mean? Nothing.
I just saw Mr. Manning there dragging Cass off to the pound.
Oh, Struth, you must have sprung her with Reb. Oh, look, you'll fix it, won't you? You'll tell the Gov what really happened.
Yes, of course.
I think you'd better tell me what's been going on, don't you?
Oh, the freak has big sharp teeth, folks, and he sure knows how to bite. Looks like Sonia's getting nervous, 'cause she's freaked out every night.
call from Myra Desmond.
Oh, good.
Well, it's not really. Wally asked her if she'd give a hand at Driscoll, and she just said she was sorry, she didn't want to get involved.
Damn it, I was relying on her.
Yeah, and she didn't sound her usual self on the phone either. Quite emotional.
Maybe something's wrong with it. Look, do you mind if I give her a ring?
No, come on.
Parker? I'm just going to tell you there's nothing to worry about. I'm going to tell the governor what really happened.
Oh, gee, Mr. Dobson, you can't do that. They'll find out about your ticker.
I can't leave you in here for something that wasn't your fault.
Well, that don't make no difference. Oh, I ain't got nothing else to do. Now, don't you tell them nothing.
I have to, but thanks, Cass.
Well, what did the department have to say?
They haven't got anyone to take it on yet. They reckon they've tried absolutely everybody.
Oh, well, couldn't you give it a go? I mean, just for a little while.
Jude, I've told you.
Myra, look, for God's sake, give me a break. I mean, if it wasn't for you and the PRG, there wouldn't be a Driscoll house. You don't want it to go down the drain, do you?
Oh, Jude, I'd help if I could. Now, you know that.
I know. Look, Myra, it's not just that, is it? I mean, you've got problems. What's going on?
It's personal, Jude. I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, I understand. I just want you to know we've been thinking about you.
Thanks, love. Oh, hell. I can't let an old mate down. Look, I'm not going to promise anything, Jude, but I'll nick down to Driscoll House and see what the situation is, okay?
That's great. Thanks very much. Your blood's worth bottling, mate.
Okay. I'll let you know how it goes.
Okay, thanks again, Myra.
Isn't it time you learned to say no?
I tried.
You realise I will have to make a report for the department.
Well, that's understood, Mrs. Bell.
Oh, sorry. Am I interrupting?
No, come in, Miss Ferguson. We've finished. Stanley, thank you for telling me the truth. You might like to go and let Parker out of solitary now.
Yes, Governor.
Yes, Miss Ferguson?
It's Stevens, Governor. I'm a little concerned about her attitude.
Her attitude to what?
Me. She seems to think that I mean to harm her in some way.
I wonder what gave her that idea.
I admit that my attitude in the past could have something to do with it.
Yes, I'd say it's on the cards.
I would be a lot happier if she weren't given the chance to lay any unfounded charges.
Miss Ferguson, what exactly do you want from me?
Just your approval, Governor, to avoid being alone with her when I'm on duty.
I don't see that my approval will make any difference. All right. You have it.
Thank you, Governor.
Now, that's two of you going to affect the new roster.
Oh?
Yes, Stanley Dobson. He has a fairly serious heart condition. I'm going to have to keep him away from possible trouble spots.
And the department didn't warn us.
Well, the department didn't know. No doubt when they do, they'll just shuffle him off to somewhere nice and easy. Oh, poor old bugger. Nice way to end your career, isn't it? Thrown on the scrap heap.
And where might you be going?
With you?
I'll be all right, love. Besides, I want you to be here when Kay gets home.
Well, she won't be home till late, Mum. She never is.
Yeah, I know.
So, I'm coming with you, right?
Okay, if that's what you want.
Lucky for you, I'm at a shift change, eh? You could probably use some muscle over there.
Yes, God knows what state that place will be in.
No worse than the one you're in, I'll bet.
Enough of your cheek, young man.
Come on, Mum. I'm watching you fall apart.
What do you want me to do, give up my work?
Of course not. You wouldn't know what to do with yourself.
We'll be right.
Yep.
So, let's go and nail this turkey, eh?
Come on out, guys.
Oh, gee, thanks, Mr. Dobson. You didn't have to do it, but I would have been all right.
Oh, the truth had to come out sometime.
Yeah. What do you reckon they're going to do with you now?
We'll just have to wait and see. I'll have to tell my wife, that's for sure, before she finds out from the department she'll have me for breakfast.
Oh, she a bit of a dragon.
Ah, sometimes she tries to be, but it doesn't work. Edie's one of the gentlest people in the world. We've been together 34 years now, and I can't remember a harsh word.
Jeez, that's real nice, Mr. Dobson. So, how come you never told her about your ticker?
I don't like her to worry.
Yeah, she will now, but...
Yeah. She'll start spoiling me rotten, though. That'll be good.
Jeez, I'm going to miss you, Mr. Dobson.
Hey, wait a minute. I haven't gone yet. Tell you what, before I go, how about we get stuck into that garden?
Yeah, that garden needs getting stuck into. Just hope we've got time. Where you reckon they'll send you to finish up?
Oh, I don't know, some desk job. Doesn't matter much.
Well, it's just a mild concussion. The doctor thinks she should stay here overnight, though, so we can keep an eye on her.
I suppose you're not too groggy to see where all of this has got you. You'll be charged over the assault on Officer Dobson.
Pity the stupid old bugger didn't drop dead.
You'll also be going before the visiting justice. I hope he sees what a vicious, callous brat you are.
Visiting justice can get stuffed. And so can you.
Mr. Manning, as soon as Keane is well enough, see she goes to solitary.
No bloody way. I cooked tea last night.
Like bugger you did. It's your turn tonight.
Well, you can cook it yourself. I'm going out for a hamburger.
Just as well. You can't boil water without burning it anyway.
I'm a bloody sight better cook than you are. What do you want? I mean, who burnt the
Shut up!
cornflakes?
Who are you?
No one's going out for a hamburger, and no one's going to eat here until this pigsty's been cleaned up.
Who do you think you're pushing around, sister?
You. Now, my name's Myra Desmond, and anyone who doesn't do what I tell them to do can get themselves out the front door now.
Are you taking over, Driscoll?
Looks like I might have to.
Hey, who's the kid? Does he come in a package deal? Huh?
Good old Driscoll doesn't change.
Still no news of Pixie. We should run a sweep on how many days she stays on the loose.
Oh, that's a good idea. Why don't you set it up?
Don't mind if I do.
Yeah, I reckon if she was coming back at all, she'd be back by now. She's gone for good, lucky bitch.
Well, I'll bet you if a cop finds her, he ends up marrying her rather than turning her in.
Hey, why don't you run a sweep on how long Bucket Mouth stays in here before someone pays her fine?
I don't think she'd take jail instead of paying a fine.
Yeah, she's just the sort of smart-ass big-head who'd reckon she was doing us a favour coming in here. How do you know she's a big-head if you've never met her? Because I listen to the Camilla Wells show nearly every day, and I'm not missing it tomorrow, that's for sure.
Ready for trade duty, Mrs. Morris? Good. Miss Ferguson, take Stevens to the hospital to pick up Keane's tray, will you?
Would you mind seeing to it, please, Mrs. Morris? The governor's agreed that I shouldn't be alone with Stevens.
Oh, right. Come on. Let's go through that door over there. How's the patient?
Oh, her head's pretty hard. She'll survive.
Had enough.
Well, one of that muck.
When do you think you'll be back up on deck?
Oh, as if you care. Just need someone to cover you.
It's not just that.
Don't con me, I know. You're on your own for a bit longer. Well, I'm headed straight for the pound from here.
All right, it's true. I do need you for my back. I only wish I could get out of here. If I don't, Ferguson's going to get me for sure.
Well, I've got 50,000 good little reasons for getting out of here, and I'm going to do it. But before I go, I'm going to get old Dobson and I'm going to fix him good. And this time, I'm going to really finish the job. Two urgent calls to phone the department. Ring my bank manager. It's a lovely start to the day, isn't it?
Good morning.
Anne, hello. What brings you out here so early?
Same as you. Work.
I tried to contact you last night to let you know I've decided not to resign, and as from now, I'm officially on duty.
How does your doctor feel about that?
Oh, he approves 100%. Thinks it's a much better idea than sitting round at home worrying about Paul.
You'll still need treatment, though, won't you? Physio, that sort of thing.
Of course, but we can work that out. And quite frankly, as soon as I made the decision, I felt like a new person. Things have been pretty rough around here lately, haven't they?
We managed.
Remarkably well, too. Well, let's get started, shall we? I imagine you'll be quite happy to hand over the more pressing problems.
Well, you might like to start with these. The department will want to speak to the governor.
I'd like $1 for every time I've washed the same lousy sheets in this dump.
Yeah, you'd be washing them a damn sight often if you were married to some poor jerk on the basic wage with 5 kids to support on the smell of an oily rag.
Well, am I glad Pixie's not here? A crack like that would break a romantic little heart.
Oh, do you really think she'd be silly enough to get married again?
You bet. One smell of orange blossom and she's anybody's.
Only if it's legal.
Oh, Phyllis, if you must turn that on, could you make sure it's something decent?
I bet Bobby's got the kitchen radio onto that Camilla Wells talk back.
Oh, yeah, switch it over. We might hear her get arrested on air.
Crap on your head.
Switch it over.
Go at me about the train drivers going on strike. My old man earns his pay packet like everyone else. He's got the right to strike like everyone else.
And what about the millions of other people, madam, who earn their pay packet when they can get transport to get to their jobs? Ever stop to think just how many of them your husband and his mates are putting out of work?
That's the only way they can get a hearing.
So you agree that if the nurses can't get a hearing when they want to rise, and God knows they deserve it, we close down the hospitals, right? And that appendix of yours is just about to burst does just that, and you are for the long, long ride in the big black car.
That's different. It's their duty to save lives.
No, madam. I've just about had you and your sort. There are a lot of callers waiting on my line who've got something constructive to say, so just do me a favour. Get off the line.
And I won't be listening to you again, that's for sure.
Good. Your type I don't need. Now, if someone's got something worth saying, I'll take another call. But first, here's a news flash about yours truly. Just outside my studio are some boys in blue waiting to haul me off to jail for not paying those parking fines. Anyone got anything to contribute on that subject?
Yeah, it's a real drag not being able to park the rolls out the front.
Shut up.
Okay, someone coming through now.
Oh, looks like we're going to be getting a visitor girl.
Hello?
Phyllis, turn that thing off, please.
Oh dear, we seem to be having some
Governor will
problems.
see you now.
Just a moment.
I wonder if she'll spill the beans.
If she does, I can't back her up.
Oh, thank God you've kept the paperwork up to date. Plenty of it, isn't there?
I enjoy that side of the job.
Colleen, I've thrown you by coming back so soon, haven't I?
Well, I've been pretty heavily supervised by Erica Davidson over the last few weeks. I was hoping to make a few decisions of my own, while I still had the job.
I think I understand. Look, Colleen, there's more than enough pressure for 2 people running this place. I do need your support.
I think you should look at these first. We've inherited a few problem cases while you're away.
Welcome back.
Oh, thanks, Meg.
Maureen Maguire has an appointment.
That's her partner, Tom.
Anything specific I should know?
She says she's innocent. Look, if that is all, I have a few calls to make.
Don't forget your bank manager.
Do you want me to tell her to wait?
No, Sherry.
Maguire, this is Mrs. Reynolds, our governor.
Good morning, Maguire. Now what's the problem?
I shouldn't be in here. It's a case of mistaken identity just because I was getting through a window. Place where I used to work so I'd have somewhere to stay the night. Look, I'm no more a cat burglar than you are.
I see. And what do you think I can do about it?
I want to make a phone call.
That can be arranged. Send an officer into me, would you please? Thank you. Was that all?
Minnie Donovan knows this lawyer and she says he'll fix things for me. She gave me the number.
I hope she's right. Well, if you are innocent, I'm sure everything will be sorted out.
Of course I'm bloody innocent. Do I look like a cat?
That'll do, Maguire.
Welcome back, Mrs. Reynolds.
Thank you. Mr. Dobson, isn't it?
That's right.
Maguire would like to make a telephone call. Could you arrange it for her, please?
Certainly, Governor.
What do you know about Maguire, Meg?
Well, most prisoners claim their innocence, but I don't know. Call it a hunch if you like, but I think it's true.
Well, if Minnie Donovan's decided to help her, she's got a powerful friend on side. Meg, this is just between us, but is Colleen upset that I've come back so soon?
None of us want you to overdo it straight after you're off.
That's not what I asked you, Meg.
Oh, she's having a bit of a bad time with that hit-and-run business and Patrick being retrenched.
What?
Yes, it's made things a bit tight financially.
Well, I suppose things will sort themselves out. Colleen's a sensible person.
Yes, of course.
You seem very tense, Stevens. Something troubling you?
Look, someone did turn those lights out in the library when Johns tried to murder me. It's not a lot of comfort.
Oh, well, you know how things are around this place.
Yeah, sure.
Anyway, Mrs. Reynolds is back, and she's been very helpful in getting me reinstated.
It's definite.
It will be, and there'll be no one around to put a spoke in the wheel. No one who counts, that is. Will there?
Joan, you coming to the staff meeting?
Yeah, just on my way.
Mrs. Morris, I'd like to make a phone call to my husband.
All right, I'll organise it.
I want to say, first of all, that it's good to be back. And that I'm very grateful to Colleen for the fine job she did while I was away. And naturally, having been back for 5 minutes, the department's dropped a king-sized problem in my lap. We are about to receive a celebrity. Camilla Wells is to be our guest for 2 weeks.
And how are we to treat her, Governor?
Same way we treat everyone else, presumably.
And not quite. She'll mix with the other women during normal recreation periods, but she won't be put on the work roster. In fact, we're going to make her stay here as informal and relaxed as possible.
Oh, that'll have a terrific effect on the other women.
Yes, well, Mrs. Davidson and the department have pointed out that Miss Wells has her own newspaper column and her own radio program. She has the opportunity to be very vocal about Wentworth when she gets out of here.
Yes, well, it's only a minor offence. Seems common sense to treat her accordingly.
There shouldn't be 2 sets of rules. It was her choice to ignore her fines and come to prison. Mind you, I suppose it'll supply her with very good mileage.
The department wants to make sure that Miss Wells gets a good impression of Wentworth, Colleen. In short, she's to be treated as VIP. And frankly, I think the less contact she has with the other women, the best for all of us.
Well, personally, I'm against the idea. But then it's your decision.
It's the department's decision. And as governor, I intend to carry out their instructions.
Wells and King?
Yep.
We were expecting you, Miss Wells, but so were the reporters at the gates, apparently.
Yes, we got quite a welcome, didn't we?
They better not put my photo in the paper, if they know it's good for them. Come on, King. Take your hands off me.
You should, you know. I think your jurisdiction ends once you've handed the prisoner over.
We'll take it from here, thank you, Constable.
You're welcome, Governor.
Stand on the line, King.
Just a moment. Don't we do this together? I'm not asking for special privileges.
The induction's being made in alphabetical order, Miss Wells. Your turn will come.
Your name is Meryl Shirley King, and you have been charged with possession of marijuana, correct?
Big deal.
Just answer yes or no, King. And you've been sentenced to 1 week's imprisonment at Wentworth Detention Centre, correct?
And I was given 2 weeks for refusing to pay parking fines. An amusing imbalance of justice.
Perhaps we could discuss that later.
Good. Yes, I have a few comments to make on the mode of transport to this place, too.
I'll see Miss Wells in my office after her induction, Miss Ferguson.
King, stand up straight, please.
What do you mean your name isn't Macon? Minnie said she was going to send me her lawyer.
Yes, I know, but unfortunately...
But nothing. Macon knows who the real cat burglar is. Do you?
Well,
No, of course not. So how in the hell are you going to help me?
Miss Maguire, I'm going to do everything possible to try and clear you, but I need to know the facts. Now, I've got a list here of the times and dates of the robberies. I need to know from you exactly where you were and with whom at these times.
Oh, you're joking. Look, I couldn't tell you where I was last week, let alone way back then. Do you think I keep a diary? Tea with the vicar, 5 p.m.
Well, you must know somebody. Friends who can give you an alibi for these times.
Oh, they come, they go, you know.
I see. Well, do you know anybody who can post the $1,000 bail for you?
Oh, yeah, there's a whole bunch of them just standing there waiting to fill in their checkbooks. I'll talk sense, can't you?
Well, I'll have a look through my notes and see what I can dig up.
Hurry up, eh? I'm sick of this hole.
We're finished, thank you.
You haven't started, but you better, and quick.
That's enough, Maguire. She's Irish.
And innocent.
Most of them are.
Not very imaginative.
Practical, though, and reasonably comfortable, according to the women.
Well, if it's all right by them, who am I to criticise? So, what's next?
You're to be put in our isolation section. You'll have access to the library. You can have a typewriter if you want one. And you're to be excluded from the normal work roster. Naturally, you'll eat and spend your recreation periods with the other women.
I broke the law, Mrs. Reynolds. I expect to be treated exactly the same as every other inmate.
You misunderstand me, Miss Wells. We're not just considering your comfort. We're considering the other inmates and the effect that your being here could have on them. They're not all fans, you know. Survival's the name of the game in prison, and even you could find yourself a little out of your depth.
Possibly. But it's only for 2 weeks. Mrs. Reynolds, if you or the department try to mislead me about the normal conditions in here, it'll be bad for Wentworth when I start broadcasting again.
Ask Miss Ferguson to step in, please. Allot Miss Wells a single dormitory and escort her there, please.
Certainly, Governor. This way, Miss Wells.
She's going to be trouble.
Oh, I don't know about that. Seem to be making things pretty easy for her.
A room all to myself.
I'm just following orders, Miss Wells.
I'm sure you're quite good at that.
Well, yes, I've had the right background. My father was a major in the army, and I was acting governor here for a short time.
How come?
Well, Mrs. Reynolds had to have surgery, and that required her to take some leave. The deputy had some personal problems, so the department decided I should take over temporarily.
Big responsibility.
Oh, yes. I enjoy that. And you do too, obviously. Well, I'm sure you'll find this quite helpful.
Book of Regulations. Sure, I'll find it fascinating reading. There's been quite a lot of problems in this place over the past few months.
Oh, yes, it happens in every prison. I'm sure things will run quite smoothly now that Mrs. Reynolds is back in the chair.
You admire her?
Oh, yes. She understands the balance between fair treatment and necessary discipline. The women respect that. So do the staff. Well, most of them. I certainly do.
But you still wouldn't mind stepping into her shoes?
Ambition is no crime. In your line of work, or in mine, Miss Wells. And I'm sure you'll be able to find the recreation area and the toilet facilities. No doubt the women will give you a favourable reception, but if you do have any problems, please let me know.
Thank you, Miss Ferguson. I think I'll be able to cope.
I didn't think you'd come, Eddie.
We're still legally married, aren't we? I thought maybe you wanted to talk business.
Is that all we've got left between us?
Now, that's a laugh coming from you.
Eddie, I'm scared.
You? Baby, you could swallow me for breakfast and not even hiccup.
There's a warder, Rick Manning, used to be in the force.
Yeah. He's a mate.
Well, he's got it in for me.
And why not? As I said, he's a mate.
And an officer, Joan Ferguson.
So this place has really got to you, hasn't it? You don't need to talk to me. Tell the governor you need to see the shrink.
I know it was hard on you, Eddie, but there were good times too. Surely you haven't forgotten what it was like in the beginning?
I'm working on it.
She pushed me into making deals with her when I first came in. Joan Ferguson. Now I know too much.
You got yourself into it, baby. You get yourself out.
Eddie! Please help me.
There's just one problem, Sonia. My last visit. You said you only married me because you needed a cover. Well, you're on your own, kid.
I thought perhaps we could start our own glee club.
What the hell's that?
It's a singing group. As a matter of fact, the history of glee clubs is very interesting.
It's just like the Beatles, girls, but with all class and no beat.
Not exactly.
Where does the glee come in?
When you start singing, I bet.
Well, I think it's a very nice idea.
If we really practice, we shall be able to enter a competition or two, you know.
Me Uncle Mike had a fine tenor voice. Trouble was, I had a ruddy rough passage getting out.
I think we should give it a go.
Oh, I'm not sure you've met...
Well, we don't need an introduction, Mr. Dobson. Well, you sure got a lot of fans around here for your radio show.
Well, we'll organise the glee club later.
Hello.
Making me feel like a bit of a goldfish.
Oh, sorry. It's just that we're not used to having anyone famous around here, you know.
Look, this is very uncomfortable. If I'd known you were going to be like this, well, I'd have paid the damn fines instead of telling the judge to go screw himself.
Why do you give the people who ring in such a bad time? Yeah, you don't pull your punches.
Well, I'd be pretty bloody boring if I did. That's what keeps them listening.
Hey, do you know Michael Parkinson?
Yes.
Oh. Bobby'll be green-eyed. We've met you first. She always listens to you.
Well, they told me I'd be doing time with a bunch of murderers and pros, but damned if I can tell which is which.
We're not sure ourselves.
Oh, Senior Detective Stevens, isn't it?
That's right. I'd like a word with Rick Manning.
Oh, I'm sorry, he's off duty at the moment. I didn't think we'd see you back again, Senior, after your last visit.
Not really your problem, is it, Miss Ferguson? Then I guess old protective habits die hard.
Oh, I think Stevens can look after herself.
Does she need to?
The prisoner who attacked her has been transferred.
Good. I'm still officially her husband, so I'll be keeping a finger on the pulse. Tell Rick that I was asking after him, yeah?
Yes, of course, Senior.
Hey, get the fruit, eh? Must be a VIP amongst us.
What's the bloke generally?
Mark.
Yeah, I suppose the Department of Nervous are going to print a few home truths when you get out of here.
Not too subtle, are they? No, we might as well enjoy it while they're laying it on.
Couldn't get your sentence extended a bit, could you?
You're Sonia Stevens. I've seen you around the area I work.
Sorry, can't place you.
Meryl King. I know your husband, Eddie.
Can we drop the subject? Eddie and I don't have anything in common anymore.
Just thought you'd be interested. Old Eddie's not the innocent he used to be.
Meaning?
On the take, like the rest of them.
Colleen, the department's just approved your recommendation for Stanley Dobson. I thought perhaps you might like to tell him.
The official word should come from the governor.
Oh, yes, but I've hardly had any chance to get to know him yet. And after all, you were the one who talked to Mrs. Davidson about it. They've approved the PA system too. Of course, there'll be a bit of inconvenience while they're installing it, but we'll just have to live with that.
And is that something you want me to handle as well?
No, I'll be circulating an official memo.
Oh, Governor, I believe you wanted to see me.
Yes, the department's accepted the withdrawal of your resignation. Come in and have a chat about it.
That is good news. Thank you, Governor.
Bloody hell, eh? Well, you've managed to fool her, but not me.
Oh, that's a pity, Mrs. Pearl. You are the deputy, and I'd like to think that I had your support too.
Save your play acting for Mrs. Reynolds. She's obviously more gullible than I am.
I've been thinking, now that we've got our VIP here, we could really call the shots, you know? Yeah, we could at that. The sky's the limit.
Yeah. Maybe we could get Mel Gibson stashed away Marcel for a couple of weeks.
Serious. Look, we could ask for longer tally time and more visitors and we'd be in like Flynn.
Maybe even get a few free extra fags, eh?
Now, hold it. You're not using me up, so don't get any ideas about it.
Well, who was it that said eat the good tucker while it's there?
That was their idea. This is different. This is a prison, not a luxury motel. And no way are you setting me up to turn it into a holiday camp.
Oh, you and all your big talk. We only want to make this dump bearable.
You're being fed and clothed and paid to work all at the state's expense. Now, if you don't like it, you shouldn't have broken the rules in the first place.
Who do you think you are?
Stick your lectures, lady. We don't need that kind of crap around here.
Would you? Would you?
You wanted to see me, Mrs. Powell?
Yeah. Sit down, Stanley.
Thank you.
We've heard from the department.
Oh, where are they sending me?
You're going to stay on here. That was our recommendation. There will be changes in your duties. You'll work mainly on the desk, and when you're with the women, you'll have to be with another officer.
I'm still quite capable of carrying out my routine duties.
Oh, Stanley, you've got a heart condition. These restrictions are for your own good.
I made the one fatal mistake, didn't I? I got old. Thank you, Mrs. Pearl. I'm grateful to be able to finish my time at Wentworth.
Thanks, Stanley.
Poor old thing. But it would have been much worse if they'd moved him at this late stage.
Yeah, maybe so. But why did I have to be the one to hand his sentence out to him?
Oh, I thought you did it very well.
I shouldn't have had to do it at all. That's the governor's job. But apparently that's the way it's going to be. Anne gets the kudos and the salary and I do all the dirty work. Well, she's got another thing coming.
Hey, what is this?
Look, either she is fit enough to do this job, and that means all of it, or she can find herself another whipping boy. I've had it and the bloody job. And the sooner she knows about it, the better.
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again. But that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines, and the rain falls down. But the sun and rain are prisoners too when morning comes around. Last night I dreamed we were together, sharing all the love we'd known, till I had to face the nightmare of waking up alone. On the inside the roses grow, they don't mind the stony ground, but the roses here are prisoners too when morning comes around.